Here's a 10% discount. Oh, you're so sweet. Here's a Why are meme formats so funny? Okay, is it time to spin the wheel? I think it's time to spin the wheel. So let's spin that wheel. It's wheel spinning time. Come on, for the love of gravy. For the love of gravy. Let's go, Majora's Mask! Whoa! The wheel has spoken, guys. The wheel has spoken. I can't argue with the wheel, unfortunately. It's not an option. How did the wheel become so wise? Always choosing. I feel like the wheel is pandering to me a little bit. It knows what my favorite Zelda game is. No, wheel, I will not rim you. At least not right now. Oh my god, I can copy an owl file. Let's go. An owl file. That sounds like someone who's sexually interested in owls. And I hope. Okay, well, we finally have the Deku mask. So pretty much we're popping off on the streets right now. That opens up at least 2 more things for us to do. At least. I'm not sure what those 2 things are, but I'll figure it out. Well, the first thing I gotta do is the Keaton. The Keaton test. Is Keaton kid still in chat? We're about to see your kind. I guess that is the thing. If we want to randomize the game again, we got to get to 550 subs. Which we're not too far away, honestly. Keaton mask, let's go. Oh, actually we are kind of far away, now that I think about it. We're a lot further away than I thought. Ah, that scared me. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, hopefully I can do this first try. Pick one of the 3 choices. How many tiny cows? This is the hardest question that they could ask. What? I don't remember the. I think it's 10. Yes. How many cows are there? There's none now, I think. I think it's just 2. No, I messed it up. I don't think you get more than 1 shot in the 3-day cycle, right? Isn't it just like 1 chance? You only get 1 chance. Yeah, this is your last chance. I'm ready to shoot. I'm ready to shoot, ready to shoot. Please do it again. I actually already did the hand in the toilet, so we're good there. Can I try again in the Milk Road? There's only 2 places he shows up, I think. Here in the Milk Road. Nate, yes, I can get the Mountain Deed. I think I can buy it from this tingle right here. We might even be having a guest. Okay, we're gonna have a guest in about 10 minutes, guys. Exciting. Very exciting stuff. I can blow up the rock. Sick. I can also get the tingle. The guest we'll be having is the developer of the Ocarina of Time tracker himself. He's been working on this tracker for like the past 5 years since ZOOTR started back then, and it's at its newest version, and we're going to kind of show it off. It looks so good. So dang good. And he's just gonna we're gonna kind of talk about his process and making the tracker, and like some of the decisions he had to make, and like things that he wants to add to it, limitations, and just like lots of fun stuff, you know. I was gonna kind of just have a conversation. I've never talked to somebody who's made a tracker on one of my videos before, so I thought I might give us a little bit more substance. Oh wait, I was gonna do the Keaton mask thing. Did we gain 2 back? Did we gain subs though? Oh, we did gain some subs. That makes sense. Guys, it's 420. Merry Christmas. Okay, hopefully we can do this a second try, second shot. Gabriel the Hermit resubbed and said, now we're a little closer. Thank you. We are just a little closer, baby. She's bad at cooking. Is Keaton supposed to be a kangaroo? Where does Cremmy, a manager of Romani Ranch, try to deliver her milk? Milk bar. Duh. Once it's completed, how tall will the festival tower be in the carnival? A little tall? It's actually a good question. Oh, it's a fox. What does the fox say? I don't know the answer. I'm not even gonna guess. Thank you, Sareen, for the sub. Appreciate your contribution. Much love. It's not 2 for sure. Aspen Sparrow, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Prime subs also raise the timer. They help the timer climb. I was like trying to combine the words climb and timer, and I was like, climber. It's 4? Okay. Yeah. Another question. What bad habit does Anju, the innkeeper, have? She likes to pick at her butt. Too quick to apologize. How many members are there in the Indigogos? Drummer, Lulu, bassist, guitarist 5. Take the prize. It's a pizza! Nice! It's a pizza pie! Hee hee ho. Hee hee ho indeed. Can I go ahead and do the... Oh wait, no, I need more rupees, I think, in order to fully do the dog racing minigame. I'm doing well, Sora Incarnate. How are you doing? This era of Zelda games, like just this game has such a unique art style that we'll probably never see from another game. I mean, yeah, ever. We'll never see a game with like this unique of an art style. I mean, it's not unique, but it's just, it's unique to itself. I need 3 rupees. 3 rupees, please. Maybe here? That's some arrows. Not what I asked for. Hey, rupees? So just all arrow refills for the aliens, I guess. Doofenshmirtz. Okay, we'll come back. We are not in a hurry. Okay, when I get into this call, I'm gonna hopefully not have any audio issues. Once I get the response, I will send the call out. It is the first guest of the subathon. That's pretty exciting. First guest of many. Can I get hot spring water somewhere? I think at the top where Darmani gets buried. Mod games is not tonight. Later, I'll be playing Jackbox. But I don't think it's a mod games. Let me look at the schedule, actually. Schedule. Yeah, later today is Jackbox. So mods can participate in that, but it's like a everybody can join type of game. I don't have the money for that. Okay, here we go. We're getting the call. We're getting the call. Here we go. I hope the audio works okay. Hello?
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just hoping that the audio sounds balanced. I hope I didn't burst everyone's eardrums.
Yeah.
Are your eardrums intact, chat? Are you good?
I'm good. I'm good.
Give me 1 second. I'm waiting for a response.
No worries.
That's perfect. Awesome. Okay. Well, today I am joined by none other than, I know him as Countdhoun. Do you want to be referred to as just Countdhoun or?
Countdhoun, Count, Cody. I don't care.
Count, Cody. This is my first time hearing your first name.
Yeah.
Cody Count, the Count Dracula.
That's me.
1, 2, 3. Suck your blood. Okay. Anyways, so we have Countdhoun. This badass dude created the most beautiful tracker I have ever seen for any randomizer yet. Because right now I use pretty much the emo tracker, which I love emo tracker. It has like a great map, very effective.
Yeah, it's great.
But you made like a tracker that has like a kind of almost professional sheen, while emo tracker kind of feels like more like an open source, like kind of user made thing. Yours actually kind of feels like it's almost like not by Nintendo necessarily, but it has like kind of that Nintendo polish. Like it's all like kind of closed off.
All of the assets and everything that I used, with the exception of the ones that I commissioned from a good friend of mine who is an amazing artist, all of the assets are from Nintendo. I pulled them from various games on Spreader's Resource.
They really do have like really good artwork of all the items in the game for sure. But then you like kind of like, I don't know, you like have like kind of a sheen animation, like the things sparkle whenever you click them. There's like a nice little like kind of like light up type effect. I'll show it in a bit like on screen, but have you like programmed anything before making the tracker, or was that like your first thing you've ever programmed?
Well, so the story goes, I was turned on to your videos. I had heard about the randomizer, YouTubed it, and your video was the top result. So I clicked it and I saw the tracker and I was like, that's kind of a cool concept. Hated all of them.
Aw. To be fair, especially when you started like making yours, like the options were way less limited. Like I wasn't even, when you started making yours, I don't think emo tracker was even a thing. Like I was using a browser source tracker at the time.
Yeah, that one, yeah, that one is looking a little bit better than it used to, but yeah, that is the one that was the primary tracker. I hated it. Saw a couple of emo tracker ones that were like early development. Decided that I wanted to make my own with zero programming knowledge.
Wait, absolutely zero programming knowledge? Like
absolutely zero.
Not even like a high school class or something?
No, no high school classes, nothing. I had played in RPG Maker at some point in my life prior, but no like actual programming. So
I'm not
it
sure
was
if I
all
consider RPG Maker either.
right. I don't really either. So
damn, so that's really cool that you pretty much taught yourself how to program through just having the mission of creating the tracker. Where did you start?
Hours and hours of YouTube and user manuals.
User manuals for like a specific program or what?
Yeah, so I actually used Game Maker for it. It's kind of like, I don't want to say baby's first video game making software. The Game Maker, the program itself, the language that it uses is simple, but you can still make some pretty crazy things. There's a lot of really cool games that have been made in Game Maker. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, user manual for that started. You know, it's its own engine of sorts, but it's pretty open ended to where it's pretty easy, pretty quick to pick up. But yeah, that's where I started.
Well, that's like almost like inspiring to a certain degree. It's just like I like programming has always been one of those things that just kind of feels almost foreign to me. I know nothing about it. But to hear that you kind of just started from nothing, just like as an adult, and just like kind of learned enough to be able to do something like that, just to start off and get your feet in the water and like learn the basics. It's like, oh, that actually seems like it might be more plausible of a thing to learn in the future than I thought.
Yeah, the Game Maker itself, anyway, is simple enough that I think that with enough time and like actual dedication, I think anybody could really pick it up.
Yo, thank you, Akai's. I'm sorry if I missed that. um, what kind of like features does, what was the program called again? Game Maker's Toolkit? No, that's a channel name. I think.
Game Maker's Toolkit's a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I actually
Good
love
one,
that
by the
YouTube
way.
channel. Yeah, they make
Yeah.
boss keys. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
that confused with
Game
whatever you
Maker.
just said. Just Game Maker.
Yeah, Game Maker. It's got its own like engine of sorts, and so it doesn't have like you can't just throw objects in it and expect them to work and stuff, but it has like a room editor so you can edit your layouts without having to get too crazy with the programming. It's all sprite based, so you can just a lot of things can be drag and drop with it.
So it has a
So
pretty easy
it's
interface overall.
yeah, it's a pretty easy software itself to learn. It's even got a drag and drop system so that you don't even have to program if you don't want to. But it's a little bit more limited than actually programming. But yeah, it's pretty simple to pick up and learn.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and take a moment and just like pull up the tracker, and we're just gonna like show it off for a moment and look at the new features that came out recently.
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna go to this one works. I have it up right now. Okay, cool. So they can see that. I just have it like set up right now to where if I show the full entire thing, it covers my face. So I'm just like, where do I want to put my face right now? I'll put my face next to it. There we go. That works. Okay, so this is the newest and improved version of the tracker by Countdhoun, which you guys can download. I'm not sure what's the best way to find it because I don't have an active link at the current second.
In the Discord channel, the Two Clan, it's in the randomizer resources.
Oh, cool. Did the link update?
Yep.
Cool.
So it just takes you to my itch.io page, and you can just download it from there.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, you heard it here first in the Discord. And then also, I think it's in if that's the case, then it's also in the description for, I think, ZOOTR 4 as well.
I don't know if it was, because I changed the link since then, I think.
Okay, well, I need to go update it.
But that link should redirect, so it was all good. I had some issues with the previous version when my website expired, but I think I got everything routed around. So regardless of if you have the old link or the new link, it should take you to the same place.
Sick. Okay, cool. Well, should be pretty easy to find. And, like, I'm going to be using it in my next ZOOTR as well, so I'll have a link to it in the next series, and it'll continually be promoted. And, I mean, hopefully Zelda randomizers, like, they'll technically be around forever, assuming. So,
Hope so.
so this tracker is, like, kind of made something that's, like, potentially cement for the community for a long time.
Hope
Assuming
so.
someone doesn't swoop in to make one that's better.
If then I'm just gonna have to outdo him again.
That's true. Hey, competition only makes innovation, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I'll start a new one just to like kind of show the features this has. So first off, you get to choose a name for it. So I'll name it Tyler. And then you get to choose the background color, but you have to use the RGB values, right?
Yeah, I had at one point where you could actually pick it like on the like color picker wheel,
Hmm.
but I couldn't get it to fit and really look great. So yeah, RGB values.
That's fine. It's
But
easy to find RGB values of colors, or just like kind of put it
yeah,
together.
well, if you're a content creator, you should. Most content creators are going to know about them anyway. So I figured that RGB values are something that anybody can, pick up and find pretty easily.
And the biggest use for this is like for either green screening the background or blue screening, like if you want to do some like chroma key, or if you just want to make the tracker like match whatever layout that you have, and just kind of have it
Yeah,
all blend together. You can also choose from gradient or solid color, which is nice as well. I love that.
yeah. I personally prefer the gradient, but if gradient doesn't work very well if you're trying to green screen it.
Yeah, no, the chroma key does not like gradients. It'll work with them, but just not as well. That's why whenever you're trying to do like actual green screening for like any type of video, it's a pain in the butt because there's always like wrinkles or some sort of shadow on your green screen, and the chroma key's like, oh,
Yeah, for sure.
that's a different shade of green. I'm not sure if you want to chroma key that one. It's like, yes, I do. So here
Yeah,
we
I had
have.
issues with chroma keying everything out. I couldn't find a set color that really worked well with everything and didn't take at least some items out. Otherwise, I would have added a quick macro for it. But yeah, I've added Triforce Hunt options
That's
up
really
to 100
nice.
pieces because I think 100 pieces was the max at the time.
Yeah, I can't even imagine playing Triforce Hunt with 100 pieces. That seems wild. Maybe I'll have to do it sometime.
I've made it so that you can swap the Stone of Agony for the Shard of Agony and the N64 song notes. So, like the A button and the C buttons to L, R, and the X, whatever from the DS
From
because there
like
is now
Zay.
a 3DS
Let's go Zay.
randomizer.
Yeah, that's really nice that you were able to like switch the icons, because I think I used the regular one for my 3DS Let's Play, and yeah, I'm sure that bothered a few people's OCD that there was a swamp, the Stone of Agni instead of the Shard of Agni and stuff. You added
Figured it was
Master
a nice
Quest
quality of
dungeons.
life.
Do you have maps of the Master Quest dungeons or of just the regular
Yeah,
dungeons?
nope, they are in there. The layouts change and everything.
That's awesome. Well, I guess you didn't have to like repaste the maps. You just had to replace like the things on the map, huh?
Yep.
Cool. You have the ability to track keys on the primary screen or in a separate screen, and you can
Yep.
add.
So if you toggle that off, if you leave that off, then it doesn't show them on the item tracker portion. But if you turn it on, it will. So if it's off, it will only show you the keys that you have in the dungeons when you're in the maps. Um, that way, you can keep your primary screen a little bit cleaner if you like.
Yeah, because I've kind of gotten to an impasse where I'm like, with trackers, maybe sometimes too much information can be like overwhelming and make it like less effective, you know?
All right.
Then you have shuffle medallions into item pool.
Yeah. So if I don't know if it's on the in ZOOTR, but it's in the 3DS randomizer. If you can shuffle the medallions into the item pool where you can find them anywhere in the overworld. And so I changed the actual layout to where the medallions don't display in a dungeon. They're just listed as their own separate items again.
That's really cool. I never even like thought about that really, because I haven't played that version of 3DS yet. But that's like really cool that you even considered that. And then shuffle
Then you,
song notes. That's to keep track of like the new songs if you do that, right?
yeah, well, so you can shuffle the actual notes that you play. So like Zelda's Lullaby is like left, up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if you shuffle song notes, then it could be set to down, right, down, and so it lets you input what the song notes are, so that instead of having to pause the game and go over to the songs, just click on it in the tracker and it'll tell you what the notes are.
I'm gonna add that so I can see what it looks like. You have the option to include Tycoon Wallet, which is just a small change. And then you added the option to include blue rupees and ice traps on the tracker. Why'd you make that a
Yep.
choice?
Some people don't really care to track troll items, so I want my tracker to be accessible to as many people as possible. And so rather than having 2 items that you're never going to touch on there, I figured you might as well give them the option to just remove them.
True. Because, yeah, if it's there and then you don't mark it, people are like, why aren't you marking it? You're missing the bloopies. And it's like, no, I just don't want to
Yeah.
mark that. Like, now you can just, like, take away that option for people to even, like, pester you potentially.
Yeah. I think that I've really only ever seen you track the bloopies and ice trap chests. So
I think that's just
really
because I'm.
it's kind of just a feature for you, I guess.
I think that's just because I'm the only one doing, like, organized YouTube series. Like, if I was just doing them live, I probably wouldn't. I don't think I really keep track of those if I'm doing live streams, which is what most people do with randomizers. But most of the bloopy tracking and stuff, like I think I even added that just in post for the most part until you added it on the tracker.
Right, yeah. I remember you like the key number or the number would always get a little bit more bold because you were just like overlaying an image over it or something.
Yep, you're right. That's
And
good
so I was like,
memory.
you know what? I can just like add this and just take away all of that extra effort on your side.
I think that was especially the keys. That's how I was like keeping track of the keys because like I kept on adding them. So like I would save each layer as like a new PNG, and then I would just add more keys to it. So it'd be like one layer for everything so far, and then I would just add like 2 or 3 new layers for the new keys that I found. But yeah, not having to do all of that manually has been a blessing. Saved me a lot of time in posts, which is ultimately what you're doing, is just making it easier to do stuff live instead of requiring time in post.
Sure.
And then we have the Skulltula token count. Do you have anything to say about
Yep.
that?
Default is 50. Like you only need 50, but some modes give you the options to like require more. So like getting over the rainbow bridge to Ganon's castle, sometimes you can set it to need all 100 sculpture coins. So I gave it the option to add more. And then same
Who
with
would
the
choose
Gerudo
that
Fortress
option?
keys.
Who hates themselves that much?
I tried it once. I made it like an hour in and I was like, no.
It's like one of those things where unless like that's kind of like the situation I'm in is like there's so many things about randomizers that take forever that like normally I probably wouldn't sit through and like push through, but like since I found a really fun way to like interact with people while doing it, that's like the thing that pushes me through. It's not like the actual randomizer itself, but it's like the community that comes along with it for the ride. And everybody waiting
And
for that
doing an
conclusion.
ice trap mayhem sounds kind of crazy.
I like that idea. Doing like a challenge and like pretty much the goal is to see who gets hit by the least amount of ice traps or something. There's like 200 in Ice Trap Mayhem. That's insane. That's kind of fun.
But what do you do for ice trap mayhem? Just set the options for junk items to super traps or whatever?
Yeah, I think is what happens. Okay, I'm gonna go
That
ahead and
sounds like a scary time.
I'm gonna generate this. Count shop items. Yeah, I'll throw everything in here.
Yeah, so the maps have the only items that are required to show on the maps are the checks themselves. So, you know, like Mido's house and Saria giving you the ocarina. But you know, you want to shop sanity, toggle the shops on. You want to know, you want to do the cow sanity, turn them on too.
Mm-hmm. Why'd you put gossip stones on there?
I have a friend who that I like to play with. He is very, very bad at knowing which gossip stones we've gotten, which hints we've gotten. So I added it so that when we get a hint from a gossip stone, you can turn it off so that you know that you don't have to go back there again.
That's really a good idea. How many like do you ever play them? Do you play them co-op or do you just play like the same one together
We typically play co-op.
using mod loader?
Yes, mod loader is amazing.
It really is. I'm not sure if you heard, but later in the week, I'm going to be playing the Wind Waker online randomizer with the developers of mod loader.
That'll be fun.
I'm so excited to show this off. It's like it's not perfectly done yet. The only thing that seems to be unfinished is I'm still quiet in comparison. Really? I'll turn myself up a
I
little
can
bit
turn
more.
my mic down.
It should be good now. I definitely. Yeah, Draw said he's one of the people who is one of the developers.
Oh, really?
Them and PSI Hate, who was in chat earlier. Two of the
Awesome.
developers.
Well, you're doing God's work on ModLoader. It's amazing.
Ask them why there's no save states. Probably because you can't really have save states online. And they don't want to like
Yeah,
overcomplicate it by like mixing that, like if offline mod loader isn't a thing people do very often. I think you're better off just using a different emulator if you're gonna play offline and want save states. There are save states. We have just locked them away. Ooh, why did you lock them away?
Future thing.
Why did I give you $500? Because you wanted to extend the timer by a ton of time, and because you love the 2 clan. That's my assumption. Okay, let me go ahead and create this tracker. And it pops up. It's actually my first time seeing the Triforce. I haven't selected that option yet.
Yeah, so Triforce is kind of like you get all of the Triforce pieces and you win. So I put it top and center.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea. It's up there, just chilling by itself, just looking down upon all the peasants. You know?
Yeah.
Ruling down. But yeah, I love your tracker just because of like this little sharp, like how they first when you hover over everything, it does like a little jiggle, and then when you click at anything, it has that like little shiny like shing look to it, and it does like the little wiggle, so it just feels like very reactive. And don't they, the items you collect, don't they like shimmer every so often as well?
Some of them do. The Triforce piece does, and then depending on settings, the medallions may or may not. If they are shuffled into the item pool like you have them, they will not shimmer. But if you have them just default, they do shimmer.
Oh, here's the song thing. I haven't seen this either. Oh, did I put on 3DS music? I did. I think, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Oh, that's a back button. Okay, I see.
Yep.
That's so neat. When you do that,
And
does it save it?
Yeah.
Wait.
So if you save it, then click outside of it, it'll dismiss the thing, the little pop-up. But when you click back into it, it will show up again.
If you are playing, if you're playing with that option turned on, does it show you your new song in the pause menu, or do you like just have to write it down and remember?
Honestly, not sure. I imagined that it would show you, but I have never actually played it with song shuffle, note shuffle in it.
Well, I'll have to pay attention to that next time I go through. Okay, chat, you have to pay attention to this. This is the newest feature, and this is like the whole reason why this is like super extra impressive now. Because the item tracker by Countdhoun now officially has an overworld checklist, and you can click on every single location and it shows you a map where everything is, and you can now kind of like use this to also keep track of all the things you've gotten, and it shows you pretty much every single possible option. You can switch between child and adult. There's every single, let's go to this is the overworlds. We go to the dungeons, you can see every single floor of all the temples, like really up close and personal. Like,
and you have that Master Quest toggle in the top right too, for if you are playing Master Quest, you can switch them out. One thing that I think is kind of fun that I don't know if you've noticed, but if you have keys, or if you don't have keys and you try to click on a locked door, it will not let you toggle it because there's no keys. But if you have a key and you click on a locked door, then it will indicate that you have used a key.
that's pretty cool. I like that. It's very organized. This is like, these types of tools are great for people who like to like kind of follow very close like guides, and like they're learning the game for their very first time and want something that gives them very like in-depth looks as to where everything is. It's definitely the type of tool for that.
I didn't have the ability because while Game Maker is a pretty powerful tool, it is still fairly limited. It's sandboxed to certain aspects of your computer.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't able to bring in any logic from the game and be able to parse it out to do logic checks. And I wasn't able to do an auto tracker, but I figured that this was decent enough. It's still inviting enough for new players that they can see where checks are. You do have to have the knowledge of what you can get when, but it helps alleviate all of the new player frustrations where they don't know where to go.
I think it's just fun to kind of look at because none of the other trackers, I don't think they actually show photos of the dungeons and where every single specific thing is. Like, this is really good for the Skulltula tokens. I don't think any of the other trackers like show you where the Skulltula tokens are and like let you cross them off in this detailed of a way, and then also show you in like an easy to read list on the outside to show you how many Skulltula tokens are left to collect in each temple. Like, this is going to be so helpful when I'm doing my hardest playthrough of... I'm actually going to use this for this playthrough as well, because I did turn on all 100 Skulltula tokens for the one that we're doing for this subathon. So I'm going to have to keep track of the dungeon Skulltulas and the overworld, because it's really hard to remember which ones I've gotten and which ones I haven't.
Yeah, and it can seem a little daunting at first, but when you very first open the tracker, the first time ever, it pops up with a thank you message, say, hey, thanks for checking out my tracker. But it also gives you a link to how to use the tracker. So if you were to say reset the app, it'll do it. But there's this new tutorial that it kind of gives you a very brief show of how things work.
I'm
you can
looking at
set
it
your
right
bottle
now.
contents. You can do yeah.
This is really, really, really good looking. A lot of good info. I've done enough randomizers to where I was able to intuitively figure it out without the guide, even. It's like, because it's good enough, but it's good that you have a breakdown for those people who maybe might be playing a randomizer for their first time and are just trying to have a good tool to help them.
When the first time I actually played the rando, I kind of knew what I was doing because I had watched people play it before. But there's so many things in the other trackers that exist they're not super intuitive. They don't tell you what they can and can't do. So I wanted to make a tracker that is easy to understand, looks good, is functional, and can advertise what it does, how to do it without being super complicated. I just wanted it to be nice and simple.
It's also focused is another good word, I think. And by that, I mean Emo Tracker has like 1,000 trackers on it. And you have to like go through like the list and then download the one you want. And then each time you play Emo Tracker, you have to like go back and reload that up, and you like save your file as if it's just like a regular just like text document or something. You literally save, I think, the progress as a text document. And you just
ain't nobody got time for that. Just save it all in the tracker itself. Call it good.
Yeah, this is like way more self-contained. Since you made it in Game Maker, it actually like it kind of feels more like an enclosed video game rather than like a program almost.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and you can set your bottle contents too. I don't know how much of a delay there is, but if you click on a bottle while it's after you've been activated it, or words, you can set the contents. So
that looks really nice.
I find that really useful when I'm playing multiplayer with my friend, and he's picked up an item. I can mark it to say what I have, so that I don't have to pause the menu or pause the game to look at the menu and see if you have an empty bottle available to use.
Damn. Chat likes making me drink water so much. Can I just drink a bottle of water from the tracker instead? Is that an option? Or is that just milk?
Good.
No, that's milk, isn't it? You can't get a bottle of water in Ocarina of Time unless you want to fish in it.
So yeah, that's the tracker. I plan on adding more to it in the future. I want to incorporate a Majora's Mask tracker as well.
Would you
The
put
only
it in the same
downside,
thing, or would you make it as a separate program?
I'd make it the same thing. So when you start a new file, I would give you the option to pick either Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask.
That's cool.
The only thing is I wouldn't be able to make it as cool as the Ocarina of Time one because I cannot find maps of Majora's Mask. So I wouldn't be able to do a map tracker very well. I'd have to commission a bunch of custom maps, which like that would be super cool, but
Is there
I don't
really
have
not
that
clean
kind of money.
maps for Majora's Mask? Are you sure?
Not that I've been able to find.
Yo, what's up, Can? How you doing? That's really strange. I remember like having some. Let me see if I still have it. I might actually still have my guidebook of Majora's Mask.
If people wanted to jump in and help me with this tracker, I don't have a budget for it. My budget is literally $0.
Damn, this puppy has seen better days. But it's my old school Majora's Mask guide
Oh, nice.
with like the silver cover. It looks like tinfoil. Oh, I haven't looked at this thing in a while. But this thing it's seen better days for sure. But I could swear there was like good. Yeah, this game had pretty good images of the dungeons and all the areas. Are these maps like not on the internet anywhere?
I have not found them.
Because these almost have the same exact art style as the ones you had. I mean, they have like little like shapes and stuff over them already for like where the strafe areas and items are.
Yeah.
But I think that was the same case with the maps you used, right?
I used a website called ootmap.com. That website has all of the maps in top down and side view. You can zoom in and it shows you everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to do some major Photoshop editing on it because it does have layout or like items on it and everything as well. But if I could find like a high
you have the whole
quality
entire
PDF,
map of Ocarina of Time memorized to. Like you could draw the whole entire map to perfection from memory because of how much time you spent editing the Ocarina of Time map.
I think with how much time I spent putting in the maps on my tracker, I know the game backwards and forwards. Like I've never played Master Quest, but I feel like I could do it blindfolded. Not really, but you know.
That's pretty neat. I definitely couldn't, but I should be able to. Man, this is a really good guidebook, by the way. Like this Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask guidebook. Oh, top. Well, it's not the most informative. I remember like getting confused by some things. Like the Anju and side quest, Anju and Cafe side quest could definitely have some better explanations on here. But just the combination of the artwork and the screenshots, these maps are like really good quality. I feel like they made these maps themselves for this guidebook because they're very simple.
Yeah, I don't have the artistic skills to do that.
Because they're not like very detailed maps. They're very, very. It almost looks like they use like a blueprint program for like houses, you know? And just kind of marked out just the floor plan, pretty much.
Right. And see, that is a perfect kind of map for me.
Oh no,
it doesn't have to be the in-game maps to be able to make a map tracker.
No, this is definitely better for a map tracker than something that's like more photorealistic or tries to match the art style.
Yeah, I'm not fully satisfied with the maps that I have in my current tracker.
Oh really?
They work, but I'd like them to be more stylized. But I don't have the funds or the time to make them myself or commission somebody else to make them, you know, stylistic.
Did you desaturate the map like inside the map?
Yeah, so what I did was I took the map from the ootmap.com like repository, whatever.
Uh-huh.
I took it into Photoshop, photoshopped out all of the like items and stuff, all of the indicators for keys and whatnot. I then shrunk it down to fit inside my tracker window, added an outline with a little bit of an alpha channel, and then I created a masked white layer that I just slapped on top of it and turned the opacity down so that it not really washed out the colors, but made it so that it was less intense. That way all of the checks would stand out more.
Yeah, which they definitely do. But you can still see like the overall, like the kind of the texture of the map. But it's it's not
Yeah.
like super saturated and like flashy.
Yeah, I wanted it so that it was still detailed enough that you could tell what you were looking at, but the real draw of it is knowing where the checks are and what the checks are. So it's something that you can look at, immediately recognize, but know exactly where you need to go for what without the all of my stuff that I added, all of my speech bubbles and graphics getting lost.
I love it. This is just such a clean looking map. Like I said, it's gonna be so helpful for the sculpt of the tokens. Like an emo tracker, I love emo tracker, but I think like the overworld map, it just puts all the dungeons and everything in each dungeon into just like one list of what's in there.
Yeah, it's just a list.
Doesn't show you like a map of the dungeons and like where the stuff is in the dungeons. It just kind of condenses it all to the dungeon.
That was a main complaint of mine. One of the main reasons why I wanted to do a map myself, especially for Master Quest, because like I don't know anything about Master Quest.
Yeah.
Now I do, but I didn't when I started.
How much do you know about Majora's Mask? Which I'm going to go ahead and switch back to and start playing while we continue talking for a bit.
Sure.
So we can try to
make
a little bit of
know
randomizer
nothing.
progress.
I am very bad at Majora's Mask. I think the last time I played it was just vanilla Majora's Mask, and it was 2003, 2004.
So you're planning on making a tracker for the randomizer? Have you ever even beat the game?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. That's good, at least. Have you beat a randomizer of it?
No, I've never even played one.
And you want to make a tracker for it, and you haven't even beat the...
That's how my Ocarina of Time started. I didn't play the Ocarina of Time randomizer until months after my initial tracker release.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god, these guys need to cut the shit. Being the worst. That's kind of hilarious though. But I also kind of understand where you're coming from. Like you didn't really have too much of a passion to play it yourself, but then once you started making the randomizer, your passion towards it grew, and then you found the time and did it, and it was probably more rewarding once you added more substance to the whole experience.
Yeah, I love Ocarina of Time. It's my favorite game. It's actually the very first video game I've ever played. So I have a very soft spot in my heart for Ocarina of Time. But the randomizer is like, it's a big task to take on. There's so much you have to do, potentially have to do, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, I could make a tracker and complete my tracker and then play the game with my tracker and both simultaneously test my tracker and experience the game. Or I could play it with a tracker that I didn't really like.
No, I think you made the right decision. I think, and now, because you made such a cool tracker, now you're getting to play some randomizer with the person that showed you randomizer and made you want to do it in the first place. It all comes full circle. Yeah. You made something really cool that's helped my videos, and I'm very appreciative, and it's made the videos way more aesthetically pleasing, and it's been a much
well,
I'm glad
that you answered that first initial Discord message. I don't know if chat knows like the origins of everything, but like I saw your videos, I made a semi-functional tracker, and then just I randomly messaged you this like 2-page essay on Discord. And I was lucky enough to have you respond, and then here we are. So,
yeah, I mean,
I don't think that I would have kept up the passion for the project if you hadn't responded and gotten me involved with the Toucan. So it's you and chat that's really gotten the tracker where it is now.
Oh, okay. I'm about to throw up. There's too much like sentimentalness happening right now. Toucan's great. But yeah, I would definitely agree that like having, you know, external people care about what you're working on definitely helps stay motivated to continue working on it. Because like if you're working on something but nobody gives a shit about it, then like what's motivating you? But if,
what's the point?
But if there is people and they're like kind of pushing you forward and cheering you on, then that's why I think it's really important to like always make sure to put yourself in good, positive environments. Because being in negative environments can destroy any passion towards anything you love in life.
Absolutely. Like seeing my tracker, like going to my itch.io page and seeing my tracker like the number of people that visit it daily, the number of people that download it daily, like even though very few people like send me money for it, which is fine, like that's not the reason why I do it. It's seeing the number of people that download it that
Do you have
really
any
keeps
numbers
me
you can
going on
share?
it.
That's actually, I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I can do here right now? It's a long boy. It's a long boy right there. What was the hardest part about making your tracker?
I am a stickler for design, if you could not tell already. If it looks bad, I hate it. If I don't like the way my own stuff works, I will scrap it, trash it, never touch it again. I've destroyed and I've just abandoned so many projects because of that.
So sad.
Keeping the motivation and the like, I've iterated so many times on just the layout and the design. I've spent hours and hours and hours, countless hours, like figuring out the layout and the UI design that I didn't hate, that I liked enough to show to people.
Design, kind of a bitch, isn't it?
Oh yeah. So I think I moved my tracker to itch.io in January of this year. And so I don't have any numbers from before that, but since January 2022, and here we are, it's the end of May, I've gotten 4,500 views and over 2,000 downloads.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
How are you promoting it? Is it just like show up when you Google it?
pretty much. It's on your channel. It's on your videos. It is listed in the list of official trackers for the game.
Where's that list at?
Well, it's in the Ocarina of Time randomizer Discord.
Gotcha, cool.
So
That's cool.
it's in their resources. So it links to it from the Ocarina of Time Discord, as well as the Ocarina of Time 3D Discord.
That's awesome.
And
I will say
hopefully
yours
soon
is
from the
definitely
Majora's
way
Mask.
more promotable than like Emo Tracker, because Emo Tracker is a lot more confusing to use. Yours is just like such a clean, like easy for anybody to like jump in. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily help with the logic, but I don't think that people necessarily need that. People just need to know it exists in the game more so
Right.
than like what's needed, because most people can actually figure it out. Like, because most people who, if they're going to play a randomizer, they've played the game and to a certain degree know
Have a
how to
little
get
bit of knowledge.
everything.
Yeah.
So just kind of like knowing that it's still there and just having the ability to mark it off is like the main thing.
Right. Yeah. So
Dang, I should have got bugs.
in the list of randomizers, in the official resources, mine is the second down in the list. The only one that's above mine right now is Baronade's tracker, which is arguably a very nice tracker.
Have I ever used that one for any of my stuff?
I don't think so. It's also an auto tracker, so it's got that on me.
Whoa, I've never even seen that one, honestly.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool tracker. I don't think it looks quite as nice as mine, but functionality wise, it's very nice.
The fact that it's an auto tracker is interesting. I didn't even know auto trackers existed, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, auto trackers are they're not allowed in OOT randomizer races, which apparently is a thing. There's a community for it. I think it's
there's a
cool.
huge
I'm not
community
involved
for
with
it.
it.
I wish I was involved with it, but I just don't have the time to commit because they like go in. They play hella randos.
Yeah. I've had several requests to make it so you can save like layouts for the tracker, so that you can like
Who we
have
saying
saved
goodnight to?
settings
Goodnight
as
to
also.
Toku or Stevo? Who's going in bed? Night, guys.
See ya. Thanks for tuning in.
Emo Tracker also auto tracks depending on the game. I need to
Yep,
look
I
into
didn't know
that.
I did not know that.
Although I kind of enjoy the process of tracking, like I don't really necessarily want auto tracking, but I still can see it having like uses, especially if I do like races and stuff. Like for race, I mean, like you said, races don't really allow auto tracking because they kind of consider the art of tracking like part of the randomizer and like trying to remember everything. And if you have like something automatically telling you where stuff is, then it's like obviously not as impressive. But
Sure.
I still think, especially if you're doing like Let's Plays and stuff, people get mad at me for missing something. So it would definitely take away the probability of that happening.
Yeah, that's part of the experience. If you're not making your audience frustrated at something, you're not doing it right.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true.
I don't know how true that actually is.
I'm still watching, but I got the finger. The finger.
The finger.
The pinky out finger? When in doubt, pinky out? Oh, get some more bugs. Can never have too many bugs. Let's go.
Yes. So I've had requests to make it so you can save layouts and stuff for races, so that you can just load it up, and not have to. Like, there's some races that allow you to that start with certain items, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so people have been requesting to make it so that you can set it so that certain settings will be already set, and then certain items will already be activated of sorts.
How many items do
And-
people start with?
Yeah,
Some
so
people
I've
can just
been
do in like 2 clicks, like 1, 2. Like we're
Right.
starting with deku sticks and bow. Bam, bam.
Right. So I've been trying to figure out how to do that. It's not a high priority, but people have asked for it, and so it's something that I am considering doing. Another thing that I've been wanting to do, and I learned about it not too long ago, and so it's something that is on my radar, that I really want to do. You are gonna die, unless you have it. Nice.
Yeah, I barely
I don't know.
survived.
Your stream is a little delayed from.
Oh yeah, the stream is like probably 8 to 10 seconds behind what happens IRL. I believe somewhere around there.
Well, then I'm way behind.
Yeah, it's not the best for like
So-
live reactions by any means. That's why usually
So-
co-commentary is usually just kind of talking about just whatever. Usually
Whatever.
co-commentary isn't very reactive type of commentary.
Sure.
It's more conversational and like with chat.
Yeah.
And then solo is more interactive. I mean, unless like we were doing this like as a big dedicated co-op stream and I was sharing my screen with you and everything, but
Oh yeah.
we're more so just
Speaking of co-op, that's something that I've had my radar too, is doing multiplayer with the tracker, so that you can actually share one tracker between 2 people across the internet.
thank you. For some reason, I totally forgot to go to Woodfall. I don't know why. That was like where I was intending to go, but then I got distracted by Spider House. What were you saying about multiplayer again?
Yeah, so multiplayer, because I play multiplayer most often,
Yeah.
I have discovered a way to make it so that you can share my tracker with 2 people over the internet, so that you don't have to each have your own copy of the tracker.
And you
So
can
that
both
all
update
of your
it?
Yes, you can both update it at the same time.
Whoa. How
So
do you do
that's
that?
the number 1 priority on my list.
Is that like just a feature on Game Maker?
Yeah, it would require like a program like Hamachi or port forwarding. I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to like internet.
I'll be right back. That water that I just chugged is running through me.
All right, well, I'll hang out here with chat. What do I say to chat? I don't know. Favorite type of pizza, go. Okay, so I have actually a tomato allergy, which is fun. So I like chicken Alfredo pizza because I can actually eat that. My name is Cody. It was established a little bit earlier, but you might not have been here. I'm not really sure. All meat pizzas are good. Yeah, screw tomatoes. Favorite sanity type in ZOOTR? I like deku sanity. I think that's kind of fun. And my friend that I play with always forgets half of the dekus. He doesn't know where any of them are. So I basically just follow him around and pick up the stragglers, all of the deku checks. Favorite topping on burgers? I don't know. There's a local place nearby me that has a really good garlic burger. They have the bun, the burger. They have lettuce and tomato, naturally. They have a garlic aioli sauce. They have shoestring fries and a fried egg on top. It's delicious.
Did you program the shoestring fries?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Doesn't everybody program their shoestring fries? Chat was asking me about my favorite topping on burgers, so I was telling them about a garlic burger that is pretty good.
That does sound pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Dude, jalapenos on hamburgers are like a hidden gem. Or just any type of like pepper. There's I'm not sure if you knew this, but at In-N-Out, you can ask for like some sort of, I don't even know what type of peppers they are. Like I think habanero peppers or something. And they'll give you a side of them, and they're just so good to eat with fries or a burger. Jalapenos are not disgusting. What jalapenos have you been eating? No.
Not good ones, apparently.
It gives your burger a nice kick. Like the burger literally kicks you in the face, and you have a bruise for weeks, but it's worth it.
Who doesn't want to be kicked in the face with a burger?
Right? That's like the reason I love listening to the Irish band Dropkick Murphys. They're always kicking me in the face, and that's why I love it. They're kicking me with their Irish accents. And it makes me wish I had a strong Irish accent. Maybe someday. Do I get a song here? I guess Silver Rupee. Cool. We take those. I was a poor boy. Had no rupees to me. Heading to Woodfall to escape from reality. Whoa, it's like really colorful here right now. Look at these colors. I've never seen it like this purple. Holy crap. It almost seems like there's a really weird filter on here.
I don't remember this area being very purple either.
Yeah, I think it's the time of day. It's just 2 a.m. at midnight. Why is 2 a.m. so freaking beautiful? It's gorgeous.
So Lincoln Epona, which is Emily, correct?
Yes.
Asked about my programming knowledge. Because GameMaker uses GameMaker language, so it's, from what I understand, similar to
Simlish from The Sims.
Similar to Python, but I could be wrong, or I don't really know. But anyway, it's a language called GameMaker language. And yeah, zero knowledge when I started, and I feel like I have enough knowledge now that I could make my own like indie game without too much trouble.
Okay, let's fucking do it. Let's develop an indie game.
I've actually been remaking so there's a mummy puzzle-based game that was on Palm Pilot ages ago, that I really liked, and just
looking back on it, calling it a Palm Pilot makes it seem like it's some sort of like masturbation device. The Palm Pilot. It's like the pocket pussy, the Palm Pilot. I'll take 20.
No, it does not use white space, as far as I know, because I don't know what white space is. But anyway, I've been remaking this little mummy puzzle game, just for kicks and giggles in my spare time. So yeah, I have been making my own little indie game of sorts. Very simple, but yeah.
That's what type of like
white space indentation? Yes, GameMaker is all indented and everything, if that's what you're referring to.
Is it open? Is it free?
A GameMaker? Mm-hmm. No. No,
I can't believe Unreal Engine 5 is free. That blows my mind. Have you ever looked into that?
I have not, no.
It's from Epic Games, the makers of Fortnite and all that other shit. They own Unreal Engine 5, and you can just download it and make AAA looking high quality games for free. It's like a ton of models and stuff that you can work with. Has ray tracing now, like the most beautiful lighting you would have ever seen. Yeah, the tools for indie game developers are going up like exponentially.
Nice. Yeah, I might have to take a look at that.
So yes, that is a health bar on top of the enemies, but for some reason it's not seeming to work on this emulator. It was working on Mod Loader, but it's not showing that. Like, it's not filling the health bar at all. I'm not sure why that is, but you can finish talking about your game that you're designing. Yeah. The mummy one, you said?
Yeah, it's just a little maze game that you have to outrun a mummy to the exit.
Oh, that sounds terrifying. You have to
It's
outrun
top down.
something?
It's yeah. Isn't that what all life is? Is just outrunning stuff? I don't know.
What, outrunning your... I guess you're outrunning your own
Inevitable doom.
life. I guess your inevitable death. Gotta achieve as much as you can before you're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, but to answer Kurt Bittner's question, I don't know. Defining functions inside like objects did not become a thing in GameMaker until recently, and I was already so far into the programming of my tracker that I haven't done it that way yet. I've been using scripts, which is the way that GameMaker did functions before, so they were universal rather than more object-based of sorts. And I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't. But,
But that's why I like this conversation. Like, you're kind of coming from a perspective that's actually way more relatable, and that's kind of what's a little bit more inspiring about it. You're kind of on your journey as a programmer, and you've created something that a lot of people have enjoyed. And the fact that with like no experience, you were able to create something that, like, at this point, a couple 100,000 people have seen, thousands of people have downloaded. The person that helped inspire you to create it is now actively using it and enjoying it. So like, and that's all came from like no experience, and then you just went from nothing to already achieving that. And now I'm sure you're probably more motivated to do other stuff in the future related.
Yeah, it sounds like several people in chat are know way more than I do already. So like, that's why I say like I think I know what I'm talking about, but like I really don't know too much still. I'm still like when it comes to like the knowledge of programming, I'm still in like my first semester of a bachelor's degree. Like I'm still baby steps, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I know enough to get me in trouble, and I know how to find out how to get myself out of trouble. But when it comes to like my like just on-hand knowledge, I still don't know a whole lot. And no, I'm not getting a degree in computer science. I considered it, but I actually got my degree in film editing.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's cool. Where'd you go to college at?
It's just a small college in Utah.
That's fun though. That's what I got my degree in too. Well, not
Yeah.
necessarily film editing, but media, which was mostly editing. It was mostly Premiere, honestly.
Yeah, I use a lot of Premiere at work. I work at a post house right now.
I'm happy they're using Premiere though, because I've heard like lots of professional places like still use some like old programs that like are just super outdated because they wanted to like keep the quote unquote industry standard of the past like upheld. Okay, we're gonna look at the...
Kurt Bittner over here has a BS in computer science, and he's going for a master's, and I'm here talking about programming like I'm a genius here. We need to have him on chat, or him on call, not me.
No, maybe I will someday. Maybe it's in that. Maybe it's part of the... Oh no, I just clicked on the wrong one. I'm upset. Oh, I think that was Tingle though. I think we're good.
Yeah, I don't understand how this map works. And the maps for the Ocarina of Time randomizer are the same way through Emo Tracker. I don't really understand what the different colors mean and everything, which is why one of the many reasons why I decided to make my tracker, because like you have colored squares. What are you supposed to do with colored squares?
Honestly, Emily, I kind of do want to get this map printed off and like hang it up somewhere in my house. I do love this rendition of it. But so I kind of learned a little bit today. The green squares mean you can get every single check in that area, which actually I'm gonna have to go to desktop mode for a second because you can't see everything from here. Okay, so now you can see. Can you see the stuff now when I click on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so green means all of the options in that little submenu. You can get every single treasure or check in that option. Orange means you can get some of them, but not all of them. There's still like some left. So even if once you go there, you'll have to like go back if you go there now. So it's like go there, but be warned that you'll probably have to come back. Yellow means that you can get it right now if you know cheats/glitches.
Gotcha.
And then blue means I think it's available to like you can go there, but you can't necessarily get the thing there unless I don't fully know how to define blue, because like right now it says like the frog choir, but I can't even do the full frog choir yet because I can't even go into Woodfall Temple, so technically that's impossible. So I don't even know why it's showing me that in the first place. Same with
Maybe it's because you're partially there.
maybe because it's also showing blue for the Woodfall Great Fairy, like the 15 stray fairies, but I also don't have those. So like, why is that showing up? Apart from just telling me that like I can go there. I don't know. Maybe chat gave me a good answer.
Blue is an item check usually.
It means in progress. Yeah. Hit up Stone. I can't go to Stone Tower Temple yet, unfortunately.
See, it would make sense to me that it would mean in progress. But see, this is one of the things that kind of turned me off to so many trackers, is just it doesn't explain what a lot of the mechanics are.
Yeah, so I don't know why Emo Tracker doesn't like have just a feature to allow you to put in a tutorial or something. I'm sure. Let me go to their Discord real fast. They probably have like, maybe there's an FAQ on their Discord. Emo Tracker,
probably
FAQ. There is. Oh wait, they have a list of all the Discords for all the things too. Theirs is actually a bit more organized than mine. I should organize mine like that too. How do I customize the tracker? The app crashes. How to use voice? You can use voice control? What?
That's crazy.
Okay, this FAQ did not answer my question. Oh wait, there's more stuff. It's at the very top. Oh, cool. Is the tracker open source? No, it is not open source. I take that back. I thought it was.
Oh, I thought Emo Tracker was as well.
I mean, you can upload your maps and stuff, but maybe you have to get like permission or something. Oh, I should teach the girls. Yes, good idea. Okay, blue means checkable, visibly by hint, etc., but not accessible.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so can you like, if I talked to the frogs, could I get a hint as to what item I'm gonna get if I talk to them? Is that what that means? And then, yeah, I think I was right with everything else. It was kind of confusing with blue. It kind of seems like unnecessary for that to even be a thing, but yeah, now we know. I need to look more into mod loader or emo tracker. There's a lot of settings that I didn't even know existed until I read the FAQ just now. I was like, whoa, I can do all that?
I'm just of the opinion that you shouldn't have to go find and read an FAQ to understand how tracker works. And so that was a big motivating factor for how I designed mine.
No, I agree. I mean, obviously, there's still like value between the really complicated ones because of all the features they have, even though they're difficult to learn. But I definitely
I'm not
understand.
discounting them or anything.
Many different options, because eventually, you know, maybe the things that you like, some days somebody will be inspired by your tracker and emo tracker, and they'll combine both elements and make one that does potentially both someday. Like, the things that exist now that are the best are usually the stepping stones for the next best thing a lot of the time. Just kind of compound inspiration.
Yeah, there's definitely room for the more complex trackers, and I'm definitely not discounting them at all. I just, I am of the opinion that simple is better.
Oh, wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought. You go fast. Yes, that's right. That's right. Freaking applause. That's what we ask for out here.
Very nicely done.
Thank you.
I was watching it like 10 seconds delayed, but that was great.
It's okay. It's probably better delayed, because if you saw it in real time, like live, your eyes would probably melt.
Well, I can't watch it with sound either because of the echo of sorts. So so I got to watch it muted. It was fantastic.
That's funny. The heck, my bruh. Look in the middle of the heart container. You can see his face just like poking through. That's fantastic. Not supposed to be like that, but that can Can someone screenshot that? That's like, and then the girls just like on their knees behind. Like, this is the funniest image I've ever seen. Scratch, 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 scratch. I like how he's just like kind of blushing. Just like itching his neck. He's like, oh, don't clap for me. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this at all.
Do you use the Bomber's Notebook at all during the randomizer, or is that more for vanilla?
It's more for vanilla. I mean, you can use it for the randomizer because like most of the things are still like in linear order. But most of the time, if you're doing a randomizer, you probably already know the order. It does help for stuff like Anju and Cafe side quests. Sort of. I don't know. Bomber's Notebook isn't super resourceful. It's a lot better in the 3DS version of the game, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen it.
In this game, in the Nintendo 64 version, the Bomber's Notebook is just kind of like, it's there. That's about it.
They should do something with that. The developers should figure out a way to make the Bomber's Notebook more useful in the randomizer. I wonder what they could do.
They possibly could do something. That's a kind of an interesting thing to bring up.
Like, give you a hint to where, you know, your next way of the hero kind of check, you know?
Does this game have hints, now that I think about it? I don't know if there's hints in this game. You actively dislike finding the Bomber's Notebook because it adds extra text boxes. That is kind of a downside, yeah. It does, like, whenever you talk to, like, every character in the game, you get these weird text boxes. Didn't give it to me there for some reason. I feel like it should have. I have nothing to sell you. See?
Yeah, the Bomber's Notebook could...
You get this shit.
could add hints. That would be cool.
There are gossip stones in this game, but I don't think you can talk to them for hints, because there's only, like, what? Those 4 gossip stones in the grottos that look like big toes, and you play them and they turn weird colors, and once you go inside all 4 grottos, then it does the thing. I kind of want to get this. Letter to Mama. I'm going to put it in the mailbox.
Been so long, I don't even remember what the letter to Mama is used for.
So that's the letter that you get from Cafe that you mail for him. And that is so his mom, Madame Aroma, knows that he's alive. And pretty much it's the one that the mailman delivers to Madame Aroma right before the moon strikes. And she convinces him to, like, run and escape. And he's like, no, I gotta stick to my schedule. And she's like, what? No, are you crazy? Don't put your job before your own life. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, okay, whatever you say. And then you go out, and then he's jumping for joy because he's finally, like, free from his slave labor job. And he gives her his postman hat. That's what it's for. I'm too nerd. Well, I know this game too well.
Well, if there's anything I've learned today, it's that I need to play this game again, because I don't remember a lot of it.
Please take priority mail to the post office. Oh. Wait, to the post office? How do I give mail at the post office? Do I just, like, talk to the postman?
You give it directly to the postman?
I didn't know that was a thing. I can go and try to talk to the Gossip Stone. I mean, I have... Wait, it just said you accept mail at any time. Sir, I have mail. Well, darn. Oh, it has to be day 3. Oh, yeah, I got it out of order. I shouldn't even have this by now.
So you were saying earlier that the randomizer's been updated to where you don't lose items when you reset time?
Correct, which is a huge blessing, because that was the most annoying thing about playing this, was having to write down every time you got a key and then go back to all those locations when you finally wanted to beat Stone Tower Temple.
So the clock really is just a timer to beat, like, dungeons and stuff. Seems like it seems like making it so that items you don't lose them. It kind of makes the clock a little bit less important.
I think the main importance of the clock is just for like the time-sensitive events that happen in the game.
Ah, yeah.
The things that happen, because like the Cafe Anju side quests, like the things that there's certain things that happen like during the nighttime. Most of the time-related events do kind of stem from the stock pot in, though. Interestingly enough. Oh wait, I can deliver it to Madame Aroma myself. That's something else with the letter to the mom, is you can either deliver it yourself personally, or you can give it to the postman, and both will give you different prizes. So you have to do it on 2 different day cycles. I think the other one, so one gives you the postman hat, and if you give it to her yourself, she gives you a bottle of Chateau Romani.
Gotcha.
Okay, it is the final day. Gotta look at this tracker again. Cause I'm like, there's things to do, but like I don't know what to do at the same time. Why can't
I imagine you would need Romani's mask to get into the bar to deliver it.
What item do I need to do the gossip stones? Because it's not showing that as an option of things I can do right now. Do I need like a specific item in order to do that? Oh wait, I need like the song. You play, I think, the Goron Lullaby to all the gossip stones, which is really strange. I need to talk to the baby Goron. I could make my way and hit the owl statue at Snowhead. I can go on the chest on the stump. Okay, I did this stuff at Woodfall. Got the Song of Soaring. I think I did everything in the Spider House. I don't think there was any other Skulltulas in the Spider House. We can also do the Mamamoo race today. That's nice. Let's go to South Clocktown. If you wear the Mask of Truth, you can talk to Gossip Stones. Let's see what happens when I do that. I've never done that in this game before.
Your tracker's still up over the game.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know why I keep forgetting to change that. I just get in the zone, you know? So
What's your opinion on... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, so you said you've never beaten the Majora's Mask randomizer?
Never even played one.
I mean, now that they've made it so like the time doesn't reset the keys and all that kind of stuff, it's way more enjoyable.
Yeah, the whole reset and lose everything was kind of a turn off to me.
Is there a reason why I can't make it up on this stump? Do I need a magic bean to get up here? Or a hook shot? I like could have sworn that you could just like deku flower to it, but I guess not. About up here.
So what is your opinion on vanilla Majora's Mask? So 64 Majora's Mask versus the 3DS Majora's Mask.
Well, I definitely get infinite sword glitch and walk up the side. Is there a sign to do infinite sword glitch? I'll try. So the biggest downside about the 3DS version, did I get it? Is, in my opinion, the fact that you have to use magic to do like the Zora jumping in the water is like such a major L in my opinion. Did it work? I can't tell. Does your sword glow really weird whenever you get it in this game? Do you know what ISG is? Infinite sword glitch?
Yeah. I don't know. I thought it would.
I've never done it in Majora's Mask. I don't know if it's any different from Ocarina of Time.
I love the game, but Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, they're all great, but like when it comes to glitches, I am inept.
I got it. Oh my god, I actually got it. I'm about to do a glitch. Ooh.
There you go, nice.
So I can just like walk up this. They did change quite a bit. So there's like pros and cons to both. I think the original Majora's Mask is overall superior. I think the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time is superior. And I definitely like the Bomber's Notebook, and I think there's like some more organization for the side quests in the 3DS version. Like I said, I like all like the graphics. The graphics are all kind of nice. Although there is something, I think the Majora's Mask on Nintendo 64 has a bit more atmosphere, like is a bit more moody. Something about like the colors and everything, it just kind of feels more scary, while things feel a little bit more, for some reason, dead in the 3DS version.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that if they wouldn't have changed Deku and Zora Link quite so much, I think that the 3DS version could be the penultimate version, but they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they learn from their mistakes and they'll be able to make a better remake in the future whenever that happens.
Yeah, just port them both to the Switch already. Fix a couple minor things, port them to the Switch, and call it good. Like, I cry every time Nintendo has a big announcement and they don't say that they're doing that. Like, it seems, now I could be wrong, but it seems like such a simple thing to do.
It really does, especially with their money and resources. Like, obviously not like a simple thing to do by practice, but with your resources and money and influence and everything, the fact that there's people out there modding your games and doing this stuff for free that people want. Hey, we got it! That's what kind of like blows me away, is like, there's people out there making things that can make Nintendo hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're doing it for free. And like, Nintendo could probably pay them like low amounts of money for whatever work they did and implement it professionally. Mm-hmm. But they're like, no, let's just close it down and never do that cool idea that could actually make us like infinite money pretty much.
Yeah, and while they do have Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the Switch through their whole Nintendo Switch Online subscription, like that's great and all, but we want the remasters. We don't want, like, the originals are great and something is better than nothing. But the remasters, the 3DS versions, they're potentially so good. It would just be so nice.
Yeah, if they just like polished up the 3DS versions, like, you know, upscaled them, because they are upscalable. You can play them on Citra in 4K actually, so
yeah,
you can see them like in like the Citra, like the emulated versions of Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time look loads better than, I would say, honestly, Pokemon Legends Arceus, for example. Like the hit new Pokemon of the game of the year.
Matthew Kidder out here with a very controversial opinion about this.
I don't think the Ocarina of Time is a demake. I think the Ocarina of Time one is a good remake. I think Majora's Mask is a slight demake with certain things that are better, but I think the Majora's Mask remake is... This felt a little bit rushed, which is ironic because Majora's Mask in general is a rushed game. But like, they shouldn't have rushed the remake. That could have been their time to like add a bit more polish, and they didn't.
I agree.
Could have been a small redemption phase, but Nintendo's like, no, let's cut corners. I know, I want to become president of Nintendo someday so I can make sure they stop making these dumbass decisions.
If you were, what is the first thing you would do if you were the president of Nintendo?
First thing, like if I had to put it in a chronological order,
like if there was one thing you could do, like only one thing, what would it be?
If I had to really push for something, I would say damn, one thing. There's so many things that it's like hard to choose just one.
For real.
I'd probably make them focus on better online because I know it's super fucking possible, and I know they're just like, for some reason, don't approach it right. I would get better like influences and find better operations and guidance to make sure online and is living up to its full potential and not sucking ass.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing they have an issue with. After that, though, I would definitely remaster the eShops, make them like way better, help push a lot more game sales, add a lot more personality to them. I would probably start, honestly, it's hard to like think of all these things on the spot. I feel like I know what I would do, but then I put on the spot and it's like, what would I do?
Yeah, right.
If I have like one specific, I would help them like maybe have, I don't know. I mean, they're doing a pretty good job, but it's just like small things that's like that almost anybody could make the change for, which is why it's surprising why they make the decisions that they do sometimes when they're like, when they feel like so obviously like the wrong decision.
Yeah, I think that Nintendo, I never really played much of Xbox or PlayStation when I was a kid. Nintendo was my childhood. But Nintendo, they release a lot of games per year. But most of their games just don't interest me. Like, the Pokemon franchise is fantastic. It's just, I'm not their target audience. And so I have a hard time playing it. And they come out with so many games, and the reception of all of these games that come out is oftentimes just kind of lukewarm. But at the same time, Nintendo has 9 spots out of 10 on the top 10 games of all time. So it's kind of they're a very interesting company because of the games that they release, a lot of them are like some of the best games you'll ever play. But then again, they have so many other games that they just like rehash the same thing over and over again, or they have super gimmicky mechanics and stuff like that. It's just kind of interesting that they can be so experimental and have such struggles in the industry and
I think they like
release
kind
so
of
many
live by this
games.
motto that like every single game or product they release has to have some sort of like weird ass gimmick that opens up some sort of dialogue or conversation about the game. When it's like, no, you can just make the game like a solid, good game because you guys know how to make games. You don't have to add a gimmick every time. Like, gimmicks are nice sometimes, but that doesn't always need a game. Like, we would, like, just take what you learned from Mario 64 and make the perfect Mario 64 game. Make a better version of Peach's Castle. Make some new levels for the paintings. Make some remastered paintings and like stuff. Add more levels. Give us like a super polished version of what we love. It doesn't always have to be something brand new.
Sure, like Star Fox 64, for example. Star Fox 64 is a fantastic game. But the Nintendo refuses to just make another one of those. Like, they always have to change it and tweak it. And Star Fox Zero, the one for the Wii U.
Yeah.
People hated it. All we want is more Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do that. They want to do the more experimental stuff, which is like, it's fine. It's Nintendo. It's just interesting to me.
Why spend so much money doing things that are probably not going to work when like the correct answer is like right in front of your face?
Yeah, it's just interesting to me to like to see what they're doing and to read about what they're doing and be like, I don't know. It's just interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have maybe some reasons, and at the same time, maybe since they're like so caught up in the middle of their own stuff they're doing all the time, maybe they just don't think about the stuff that people on the outside consumers think about. Because I'm sure lots of people probably think a million things about how I could run my channel and do my stuff better, but at the end of the day, I'm the person who has to initiate it and actually do it, and sometimes it's a lot harder to actually do in the things that you say you should do. Especially when there's lawyers involved and big salaries involved and ego, like lifelong egos involved and all that kind of stuff. Like there is in gigantic companies as old as Nintendo.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that you're dead on. I am some random dude. I have zero influence over Nintendo. I'm not qualified to tell them how to do anything or what to do. So I'm sure that they have their reasons and everything.
Yo, what's up, Ike? We're doing well. Also, I didn't mention this the first time it happened, but talking to the gossip stones in this game do give you hints. Seems Secret Shrine is a foolish choice. What is Secret Shrine? I'm not even sure if I know what that is. Can I get up on this roof? Is there not a deku flower around here? I guess not. Okay, let's deuce. Also, Ike, I wanted to tell you, I think I set up the tracker that you had made wrong because it wasn't adding the time correctly and it was like super duper off. So I was like, okay, I don't think I can run this. I was confused.
Is there another tracker developer in chat?
It's for the marathon timer that we're using that like automatically goes up whenever people are down, like,
oh, gotcha.
Donate. There is, someone gave me a new one because apparently this one has some like bugs, but I didn't set up the other one properly as far as like how the time went up and everything, and I couldn't figure it out. So I was just like, okay, well, never mind. I tried. Oh, I should go to Icona. That's honestly the area I should go to. There's a few things I can do over there. Yeah, we don't need to be that drastic with the opinions, you know? Don't need to be malicious with the opinions. This one seems to be working. I haven't had any instances of it not working so far that we've like noticed or caught. It's adding the time, okay, that's for sure.
Yeah, you got a long way to go. You're gonna be streaming forever at this pace.
That's why you put a cap before it starts. So when you do have to end after a certain amount of time, people don't feel cheated.
Nonsense. You should just stream infinitely forever.
If only that was an option. I guess technically it kind of is. It does require a lot.
So if you were to, say, commission a custom Majora's Mask tracker, what kind of features would you want in it? Both you and chat.
Let me see, let me look at the ones. I mean, the one that I have right now that I'm using just isn't as aesthetically pleasing. And it almost has a little bit too much information on it that I don't necessarily need too much. I mean, apart from just kind of the quality of life options that you've added to the Ocarina of Time one, like kind of being able to curate the items a little bit, being able to choose the background color, all that kind of stuff. Apart from that, I can't think of anything too major that I'd want from a tracker, apart from like the maps, and then obviously like the bigger things like logic and auto tracking, I guess, are like the logical ways to improve it but aren't necessary. Yeah, I feel like it just kind of comes down to having all the information and just like being sleek.
Yeah, well, if I can find maps for this game, I'm definitely down to add it to the tracker. I've been wanting to. I just haven't found maps that I like.
I'm really curious. if these maps have ever been uploaded online from the guidebook. That'd be pretty impressive if they had never been uploaded. Maybe for copyright reasons they weren't. I don't know.
Is that the official Nintendo player's guide?
Mm-hmm. It is the official. Does this map look like a deflated balloon? Maybe it kind of does actually, but it has the string attached still. Oh, there's also another thing I can do as a Goron over here. I totally forgot.
Are you able to do the Dampe? I don't know. I don't know what to call it when you lead him around.
I think I need the captain's hat in order to lead him around. Can I use any other masks for that? Can I use the Gyptos mask for that? I don't think so. I should be doinking these guys off of me. Watch this. I can just like doink the bomb shoes off. If he can even come off the rock formation. I think he got himself stuck. Never mind. Okay, let's not get on Epona. Yo, what's up, Vanche? How you doing? Apparently there is ways to do auto tracking. I have yet to figure it out.
Yeah, there are trackers that do it. I don't know how they work though. I think that Game Maker that I use is not quite sandboxy enough to be able to do that.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm guessing Emo Tracker just like connects to BizHawk or something. Like that has to be it, right?
That's what Baronades does, is it just connects to the emulator. And Baronades has Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, if I am remembering correctly.
Oh, for real?
I think so. Let me look.
That's hella cool. It's so cool to me, like, I love that, like, I've already done so much with randomizers, yet there's still, like, each randomizer I've already played, I could still play, like, 20, 30 more times, technically. There's still, like, 10 Zelda randomizers I've never played. There's, like, 100 randomizers in general I've never played. And then every single randomizer has, like, infinite possibilities of ways you can, like, continue making the randomizing process, like, cool and more streamlined with trackers and new mods and features. It's just so cool.
Yeah. Baronades does have the option for auto tracking, and it does do both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
That's so cool. I'm gonna have to look into that in the future. Let's get Baronade on the next stream instead. Fuck Countdhoun.
Oh,
we moved on to the Baronade life. Thing is,
Yep,
he did
I
it to
guess
himself.
I'm just
He's the one who put
obsolete.
us onto it. If he'd never told us, we would have never known.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight.
I mean, if that's what helps, I guess.
Yeah.
The
I guess it's gonna have to
help. No, you're irreplaceable, Countdhoun. Baronade will never have anything on you.
Yeah, so it supports Project 64, BizHawk, and RetroArch.
Oh, wow.
So it's
multiple
quite...
emulators. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I wonder how they ended up exporting that information for the tracker to pick up.
I have no idea.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
All I know is that my tracker looks nice and is somewhat functional. And that's about as smart as I am.
And that's all we can ask for. Okay, it's tracker time again. I'll try not to leave it on screen. Yeah, let's go check the shops real fast and see if there's anything I missed. Pokemon isn't generally hard. It's just people that think it is when they're younger. Yeah, I think Pokemon is supposed to just be hard for kids and, like, not anybody else. I don't think they make it with adults in mind, like, in the slightest. I think Nintendo is almost, like, thinking, like, wow, it's weird that adults are even playing this game in the first place. I think they, like, actively want adults to stop playing. I'm just buying some stray fairies, might as well. Oh wow, I actually forgot. I even made a joke about how I wouldn't forget to hide the map again, and then I forgot to do it.
I was gonna see how long you could go with before you noticed.
Every time! Even when I make a verbal note of it, I still forget.
515 people are currently subscribed. What's the number you're going to before your shuffle again?
550.
550.
Although I also like shuffle it again every time I take a prolonged break for like
Right.
food or something. So once I eat dinner and come back, we'll reshuffle again, unless we reach 550 before that, which is possible. All it takes is one dope ass motherfucker to just come through and be like, bam, 20 gift subs, and then everyone gets excited, and then it's like five more, and it's like, oh, we're almost there, and then a couple more people are like, yeah, and then we shuffle again. It's the process. Where was I going? I was going to teleport to Great Bay. We're gonna feed some fishies. Some Shark Bay, hoo-ha-ha. What other games do you like apart from this, from Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask?
Well, my second favorite franchise would probably be the Metroid franchise.
Oh, hell yeah. So you like the open progression.
Yeah, with Metroid Prime 1 and 2 being my number 2 and 3 favorite games ever.
Good choices. Did you know there's randomizers of those games too?
Yeah, I learned about it not too long ago, and I kind of want to try it, but I'm also kind of scared too.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how randomizers of those games fully work. I mean, I can kind of imagine. Like, it doesn't seem like that complicated of a process, but
yeah,
I just don't know. I've never even beaten Prime games before, so I'm not like to the point of randomization yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's an achievement that I am very proud of, but one of the hardest things I've ever done in video games was beating Metroid Prime without getting any energy tank or missile expansion upgrades. So I beat it with 5 missiles and 99 health.
I didn't know that was possible. That's insane.
It was very difficult. It took me and a friend many tries to do it together. It was a lot of fun. Very difficult. I will never do it again.
I don't blame you. I can't believe some people like make it their life's work to do crazy challenges like that. All right, where's this fish at? Come on. I keep on trying to scoop you. How do you evade me? Finally, Jesus. I took like 30 scoops. Yo, Munch Kiwi. Happy sub back to you. Thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub.
So which water temple is worse? Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask?
I like both of them. Actually, I like Great Bay Temple a lot, so I say Ocarina of Time is worse.
And see, I like the Ocarina of Time one. I think it's pretty fun. But like I said, last time I played Majora's Mask was ages ago, so I was young then and had trouble with the dungeons. So I might have a different opinion now.
The dungeons in this game are more difficult, but that's why I like them more. I like the fact that they're more difficult. Because like Ocarina of Time, I just have them down to like pretty much muscle memory, but I still have to kind of think when I play the dungeons in this game. Wamp wamp. That's not what I wanted.
What's your favorite dungeon in a Zelda game, period?
Great Bay Temple. I'm not kidding.
Oh, really?
I was trying to trigger you. I do love the music of Great Bay Temple. Some of my favorite music for sure. Probably Arbiter's Grounds and Twilight Princess.
That is a good one.
The spinner is just super fun and makes that temple like super memorable.
Twilight Princess has some great dungeon design.
Oh yeah, it's like masterful. Like they did not take any stops. Every single dungeon is like dripped, has like literally tiny little etchings in every single corner. Like they didn't even like, they paid so much attention to detail. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, Twilight Princess is a fantastic game.
It's really a shame that it hasn't been ported to Switch yet. Huge missed op.
How hard would it be? How hard would it be to port the Wii U to the HD remake to the Switch?
I mean, I have a feeling that they're gonna port them this year to hold us over for Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they didn't do something.
And I think they didn't release them yet is because they did Skyward Sword first, and they know that Skyward Sword is probably the least favorite because it's just not as good as Twilight Princess and Wind Waker overall.
Yeah.
So they're probably thinking like, oh, yeah, let's let just Skyward Sword sit on its own for a little bit, so we don't like completely make it obsolete once we release Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. Because that's what
Ancient Cistern is also a fantastic dungeon. That was a very well designed one.
The symbolism, like all the Buddhist symbolism, is also great in the Ancient Cistern.
Yeah. The only thing, I loved the whole story and everything and the art style of Skyward Sword, but the controls just ruined the experience for me.
That's why the Switch version's better. You can play with just your controller, and it actually makes the game way, way better.
Yeah, I have been wanting to play it. I just haven't taken the time to do it yet. I've been skeptical.
Understandably so. I mean, something that might motivate you to want to play it is the fact that there's a randomizer for it now, I guess. And apparently it's pretty good.
Yeah, then I'm gonna have to make another tracker.
You still have to do Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, A Link to the Past, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, Link Between Worlds.
I don't think I will.
Link's Awakening, Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 first.
Yeah, I don't think I will do that. Even thinking about that gives me anxiety.
That's how I feel when I think about making Let's Plays of them all. But I'm still gonna do it. Still gonna do it. I'm already like way more than halfway there. What is next for me?
Aaron Elvin said the Forest Temple is their favorite, and I kind of agree with that. The Forest Temple, I love the music to the Forest Temple, assuming we're talking about OOT. The music's great. It's just a fun temple.
Yeah. The music's great. The twisty caverns, like twisting the rooms.
Why? That's one thing. Why are there potions in the tracker for this game?
Probably because there's a lot of things that require potions in this game for like unlocking progression. Like in the bottom of the well, you need milk and a blue potion and a red potion. You need the seahorse. You need the gold dust. You need the red potion to save Kume.
Oh, right.
There's
Yeah,
like
okay.
multiple uses. I still think it's kind of useless. Like I don't think there's a purpose, but I kind of understand at the same time. I can see where they were coming from.
Yeah, just as somebody who is wanting to add Majora's Mask to his tracker, I look at the tracker and be like, why are some of these items here? What's the purpose?
Yeah. I don't know.
Breezy Ninja, are you playing Prime on the Wii or the GameCube version?
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this whole mailing thing. Once I have the op, can I do that? Is the postman ready? Can I give him this letter? Oh! Yo, Solstice Trooper, nice to see ya. I've missed you too. I'm sorry. Wait, what? Did it just close? Did I miss my window of opportunity to mail the letter? Because I don't think I can get... Yeah, I can't get inside the Romani milk bar. I don't have Romani's mask. Or the milk bar mask. I didn't miss my window of opportunity, did I? Oh, no, I think I just wait till the final night. Okay, no, we're still good. Okay, what do I do till I wait? I guess... I'm gonna go to the mountain village again real fast. I know I was just there, but... I'm gonna go talk to the baby.
Baby Goron?
Baby Goron. The little crybaby. Wah. My little baby and I keep crying. Wah. Wait, did I teleported to the wrong place? Criminal. Dude, I haven't even stepped foot in a dungeon yet on this randomizer. Or even on this marathon. I've yet to enter any dungeons. Also, granted, Pikmin and Mario 64 don't have dungeons. What? This guy can be found all the way out here? Since when? Huh?
What?
I didn't know this guy could be all the way back here. I thought he was always like in this little lake area.
Well, the more you know.
We keep learning. Pikmin 2 has dungeons, yes, but I'm randomizing Pikmin 1, not Pikmin 2.
Pikmin games are great. I never played number 3 though.
Pikmin 3 is probably the best, but it's also like criminally short. Like it kind of cuts you off right when you're like really getting into it. It's kind of my biggest complaint.
As I get older, shorter games are actually better in my opinion, because I don't have a whole lot of time to play games. And so a game that I can sit down and beat in a weekend, it's perfect.
I agree. I think Pikmin 3, like it's, if you played it, you would also agree. It's just a little bit too short. Like, right? Because there's I think 4 levels. It kind of follows the other games where it's like 4 major levels and a final boss level. But, I mean, Pikmin 1 and 3, I think, are a little bit too short. Pikmin 1's kind of understandable. Pikmin 3 is a little bit longer than 1, but it's also shorter than 1, I think, because it's easier, so you're probably actually going to beat it a lot faster. I found the Countdhoun Fairy interesting. Pikmin 2 is a little bit too long, honestly, but I like how it gives you so much. And that's why I want 3 to be a bit longer. 2 is like 120 hours long, and then Pikmin 1 and 2 are like, or 1 and 3 are like 15-hour games. So
yeah,
it's
that's
like,
more my speed.
I wish Pikmin 3 was more like a 30-hour game. I wish it just had like one extra like full level or something, because like you get all the Pikmin types, and then the game kind of just ends, and it's like I didn't even get to use this type. I didn't even get to use the flying ones. I had them for like the last 2 days of the game, and now the game's over, and that's it.
Yeah, I think a 30-hour game is probably the sweet spot for length, in my opinion.
I understand wanting to be able to beat a game in a weekend. The thing is, Pikmin 3 mission mode is what makes the game my favorite Pikmin game. I've played the mission mode 10 times more than I've played the actual story, because that's where like a lot of the actual challenges. I've sank my life into it. Unregrettably. Yo, Solstice Trooper, thank you for the gay bits. Those are some damn. Okay, I think we're ready. Oh, we have 1 more hour before the postman. Oh, but I found the stray fairy, so I can get the prize from the great fairy. Is that Tom co-commentating? The commentator is Countdhoun. He's the one who made the Ocarina of Time tracker that I use for all my Ocarina of Time randos.
Hello.
Yeah, Pikmin 3.
Breezy Ninja said that the Wii version of Metroid Prime is better. And the GameCube controls don't work. The GameCube controls are the best.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think because that same argument can be applied to Pikmin and Pikmin 2, because you can play the motion control version of Pikmin on the Wii. And I mean, I guess theoretically, yes, the motion control Pikmin controls are better or easier. But in my opinion, I like the controller controls more, because I think it actually makes it a much harder and challenging game.
Yeah,
I think if you make the controls really easy, then it actually takes away a lot of like the initial difficulty, and just becomes more of like a game that you're playing through just to like experience the atmosphere, not to actually experience a challenge.
Yeah, and I think that especially with Metroid Prime, is like I played the GameCube version first, and so I learned how to play the game on the GameCube controls, and so the GameCube controls, while a lot of people that have picked them up in recent years don't like them, I think that they're super intuitive and easy to work with.
Yeah, as far as Pikmin and Metroid Prime goes, I do like both controls. I like motion controls, along with also liking and preferring the GameCube controller. Oh, I'm doing the most stressful minigame ever now.
I don't like this. I don't mind these minigames, but the controllers are so sensitive, I guess, that it makes them hard.
That is kind of where the challenge comes from. And the fact that you have to play a perfect game to win this prize, it busts me. It's being like extra choppy right now, and I'm not having it. It's a whole lot of choppas. There we go. Although once you miss one, all of your efforts and everything else are completely irrelevant. But hey, I got the 5 Octorok. That's like the hardest one to get. Perfect.
It's practice.
Hopefully I can maintain that luck next time.
You need to just macro it so you can just push a button and have it play it good for you.
Like a task bot.
Yeah.
That'd be useful.
Just for these mini games.
Cheating.
Yeah. Well, you're not racing anybody.
But the viewers are watching me and holding me to a higher standard. Right, viewers?
I'll cover their eyes while you do it. They won't ever see.
Ah, facts. You can do that.
Yeah.
You just cover chat with your hand and they can't see anything.
Yeah, see?
All right, now we can go to the postman.
What are your biggest hopes for Breath of the Wild 2?
I hope you can shrink down and be a Minish and go inside logs and find like little hidden villages and stuff. Or like go inside a tree and there's like a city and you're like, what? You have this gigantic, huge map, but then there's little small little intricate cities inside a tree. Like it would just, I feel like, add just so much like charm. Because you'd be like, what other trees have cities? And like obviously you can't go to all like the small trees, but they could like hint towards like more Minish like cities and stuff and like make you think that the world just has just so much more to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to have a Minish Cap too. Minish Cap was a fantastic game.
I love Minish Cap. I grew up playing it, and I will say it's a little bit confusing, like the in-between stuff, in-between dungeons. I got like hella confused sometimes while playing the game, but still overall, it's super fun.
Is a good one. I set out when it first came out to collect all of the like figurines, and I never did it, and I've kind of wish I could have gone back and done it when I still had it physically.
Getting all the figurines is something else in that game. Like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I wish I could answer Countdhoun. You can put your answers in chat.
Oh, I'm reading
answers.
them.
Yeah, we're reading chat.
I'm reading them. Sorry, I've been really bad at responding. Let me scroll up and read
General Monkey MC and Beeping Kitty, thank you for the subs. Thank you for extending my stream. Couldn't be done without you. I think I'm going to be kicked out. I can't watch the whole process go down. Oh, I can? I'm surprised they're letting me in without the Romani mask. Is that just something you can do on day 3, I'm guessing? Oh, no, the hours are later. I think it's past 9 or 10 p.m. is when they require the mask. Out of all the 2D Zeldas, I'd say Minish Cap is the easiest to get into. I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
I think it has like a really easy learning curve, a really fun and kind of easy to follow along story. The first dungeon, I think, is just really enticing. It's good.
I also really liked A Link Between Worlds. That was also another... I mean, I consider it to be a 2D Zelda game. I don't know if you do, but...
I consider it 2D technically.
I also thought that one was pretty accessible.
I mean, it's not technically 2D, but it has like the 2D Zelda format.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys! We're hookers. Officially. I'm really happy I gave it to the postman and didn't deliver it myself.
Yeah, that would have added a lot more time to this run.
All right, let's see how many new things this adds to the tracker. Okay, yeah, so now let's add the hook shot, and it's going to add all of those things. Let's go. We can finish the Pirates Fortress. We can race the Beavers. Ooh, I can get the chest in Clocktown. I can go to Iconic Canyon. And yeah, that's freaking awesome. Here for it. And look, I turned the map off. I turned it off for my first time. Let's go. I'm learning. Need leaps. Be free, postman. Be free. Okay, now that we have that, we can get a couple easy chest real quick before the cycle ends.
Did you ever find out if the chest that normally has a silver rupee regenerates its reward thing? It looks like it does because it's on the map.
I'll go check inside. My guess is it's probably going to be a recovery heart.
Oh,
But
yeah.
let's go check.
What did you
just to
get
make
in that
sure.
one originally? Do you remember?
No, I think it might have been rupees. In which case, if it is rupees, it is worth rechecking. So let's find out real fast. So I might be able to just put them in the bank because I do got to get 1,000 rupees in the bank for a reward, and 500. I always loved this secret as a kid. Something about it just like felt rebellious. Yeah,
It felt like I knew something that other people didn't.
Yeah.
Because it's a secret to everybody.
That's a reference. I recognize that reference. Okay, how do I, can I, oh yeah, this is like the chest that can be a pain in the ass because you have to get it like so accurate. And you know, with this Nintendo Switch controller, doesn't love to be accurate for some reason.
There's a controller out there that I use, that I play with. It's called the, okay, I don't remember what the controller itself is called, but it's by Retro Fighters. It's a pro-style 64 controller.
Oh, legit? That sounds cool. What do you use it for?
I use it for the randomizers. It's got C buttons and everything. It's a pro-style Nintendo 64 controller.
We got the Sonata of Awakening. Not everyone's about to be woke. Are you ready to be woke, Countdown?
I am ready. My body is ready.
Woke or woketh? Choose your poison.
Woketh.
Woketh. Ooh, he chose woketh. Okay, we're about to play the Sonata of Awakening on the accordion. Wait, let's see if I remember how to play it.
The best instrument.
Wait, how... There it is. I played it from memory. That's how a true Zeldian does it. Alright, I did it. Do you feel woketh?
I mean, I would, but I'm watching without sound because
You don't need to hear the sound. You just have to feel the energy.
I felt it in my soul, though.
There you go.
I felt it.
It's more of a feeling than it is a sound. So I'm glad you're resonating. Glad you understand. Go to the graveyard. Could I do any? Oh, I could do the graveyard. I don't need to do that on the third day. The third day, though. I think I'm good to just reset my 3-day cycle. Actually, there's one thing right out here that's like really easy to get. I guess we can do Captain Kita. Why not? We'll go do Captain Kita. We have the time. And also, the thing that I'm going to do is also buy Iconic Canyon. There's an easy chest to hook shot up onto on the pillar. Ooh, the colors are pretty again.
Have you slowed down time?
I have not. I probably should. Hey, Soul, don't call me out like that. It was still from memory, technically. Do we know what the Curiosity Shop sells on day 3? We don't, but we can check that before the end of the cycle, because I will deposit my rupees. We don't get bubbled.
Does the Curiosity Shop sell different things on different days?
I mean, it just sells the all-night mask. The thing is, I won't be able to buy whatever it sells, because it costs 500 rupees. So technically, it doesn't... It's more so just to, like, know if I'm gonna need to do that eventually or not, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought I somewhat knew this game, but maybe I really don't.
What element do you think you don't know?
I'm just asking dumb questions about the game.
Ah, no you're not. You've been asking some pretty good questions, I'd say. Silver Rupee! Yeah! Where's my hope? Is she up here? Can't remember if I rode her away or not. Don't hit me. I gotta summon her.
Link Between Worlds looked great and was made by the same devs. Same devs as which game? Paleo Blue? Oh, Grezzo? I didn't know that Grezzo made Link Between Worlds.
What other games does Grezzo make?
I thought they just had the
Is Grezzo the
the
straight
remakes
version
under
of
their belt.
Prezzo? Do you know who Prezzo is?
No, I'm sorry.
That's a good and a bad thing. Like, you don't want to know, but also you're kind of missing out. He's just a funny dude, like, in the kind of speedrunning community that posts really, like, shocking memes on Twitter all the time that are usually pretty funny.
Oh, I don't have a Twitter. I prefer to stay in other toxic communities.
That's what I like to hear. I'm a Twitter whore, so I like my Twitter. What are your toxic communities of choice?
I don't know. I'm on Instagram a little bit, but not too much.
I like Instagram. I'm a big fan of it.
I still have Facebook to keep up with all my family that has it.
Same, I use Facebook like just for the fam. That's about it. Am I still jinxed for real? There we go, that actually works. Oh, get him, get him. Oh my god.
No sword
I'm
for
missing
you.
him. Fortunately, I can use the Great Fairy Sword. There we go. Get him, get him. Great Fairy Sword works great on these stout children.
How come the health bars above all of the enemies' heads look like they're empty the entire time?
I think it's just BizHawk not like loading that feature right, honestly.
Ah,
Night Noob.
that would make sense.
Oh, I was not paying attention there. Did not realize he was ground pounding on me.
Oh, is Toku Newt going to bed?
Night
Bye,
Noob.
you're still here.
I forget, are newts amphibians or reptiles? And we have the hook shot, so I can hook shot across. Let's go. Yo, Garrett, how's it going? Freaking long time no see. They're amphibians. Cool. I could go as far as to say newts are my favorite amphibians then. If it was reptile, then chameleons all the way.
Axolotls are also amphibians too?
What did I just find? I was like, find stuff, and then I'm like, wait, what did I just get? That always means it's something insignificant. It's probably rupees or something. Okay, let's go check the curiosity shop. I'm curious. Piece of heart, that's what it was. That's why I forgot. Because my brain pretty much noted it as insignificant information and just like auto-clicked. But you guys are paying attention. Good on you. Good on you. We love a captivated audience.
Is that the same thing as a captive audience?
No, we're not. Our audience is not being held captive. They have free reign. They're not in cages or shackles.
Could be.
Unless they want to be.
Mm.
Wow, it's just a recovery heart. Is that supposed to be the all-night mask right there? Or do you have to do something for the all-night mask to show up? Otherwise, I think that's just a 500 rupee recovery heart. Oh no, this is the bomb bag. I think don't you have to save the bomb bag lady to prevent it?
I think so.
Yeah, you do. So yeah, it's not it. That ain't it, Chief.
I didn't personally play Link's Awakening remake. I watched my wife play it.
Link's Awakening?
So
oh, that was a really fun game, honestly.
Sorry, is that what I said?
Yeah, the one on
sorry,
Switch?
somebody in chat had mentioned it. Yeah, the Link's Awakening remake.
I enjoyed that remake. That was my first time ever playing that game, honestly.
Yeah, I really liked it. I didn't play it. I watched it be played, but I thought it was fun.
I agree. It was really pretty. I think it's a little bit overpriced. Like, the fact that the Link's Awakening remake is the same price as Breath of the Wild is like... Yeah, Link's Awakening should have been $50 instead of 60, but... Nintendo's weird with their pricing.
Yeah, well, if Nintendo would just like go on sale every now and then, I think that would be an adequate compromise.
They should for the games that don't deserve to be $60 all the time. So like, I love Link's Awakening, but like that's not a $60 game. Like, it's like a $40, $50 game. They should like price their games in a way that makes the best games worth their value. And if you can't afford the most expensive best games and you buy the cheaper games, like that should be a way it is. But like, no.
Yeah, well, like, how much money have I spent on Ocarina of Time in my life? I've bought it on every major console at full price. Like, I've probably spent a couple $100 on that one game.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play the Song of Time. I think I'm gonna have dinner, actually. I know I ate lunch just like 4 hours ago, but like I'm already getting hungry for dinner. Bye, Link. Bye. I love you, Link. All right, I think I am going to let you go, Countdown, so I can go grab some food. But thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been fun.
It was a pleasure. I'm glad we got to talk about your tracker, and I'm excited to use it when we eventually, finally, hopefully, should play with Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I hope you like it.
I know I'll like it. I've already seen it.
Well, I mean,
I've already experienced it.
yeah. Well, you have enjoyable time at dinner. I think that I'm gonna go get some food too.
All right, sounds good. You have a good one.
All right, see ya, and see ya, chat.
Everyone say bye to Countdown. Everyone say bye. And you can see that.